Hello, I'm ABX Toycat, and welcome back to QnA Saturday. QnA Saturday is a weekly series I run on my channel where I answer your questions about a variety of subjects, usually focused on the next big update for Minecraft console. However, in the past few weeks or months, we really haven't had too much Minecraft console news to go over, so instead I figured I'd just answer various Minecraft and real-life questions, and that's what I've got for you all today. Hopefully you do all enjoy it. If you do, please do like the video and let me know, because it helps out the channel a lot and lets me know you do like QnA Saturday. And if you do want to ask any questions of your own and maybe be featured in next week's video, please do ask them in the comments down there. I'm pointing downwards right now, but you can't see. But yeah, down there, leave a comment, and that's where I pick questions from. So with that said, these questions all came from last week's QnA Saturday, and this first one comes in from Agent Mindstorm here, who asks, #QnA, how would dual wielding work in the Pocket Edition? So this is a pretty rare question. Like, most people just ask, Toycat, how's dual wielding going to work on console? We already use both triggers, and then they don't realize, dual wielding actually uses the same two, kind of buttons. But the big question of how dual wielding is going to work on the Pocket Edition is a really, really important one, because I thought back and I'm like, wait a minute, yeah, that doesn't make too much sense. So, giving it a real bit of think, I assume there's two things they're going to do. One, they're going to put it off for a really long time, because bear in mind, the Pocket Edition still doesn't have the Ender Dragon, still doesn't have the Wither, still doesn't have quite a few major features like that, and if you just put it off for long enough, maybe phones will evolve in a way that they have a button still fit. Or the second more likely thing is that each side of the screen could be one-sided dual wielding, or the third option, I guess, actually, is just don't add dual wielding, because it wouldn't work there. I think that's probably the most wacky solution that's not going to happen, but yeah, I really do think what's going to go instead is maybe left screen and right screen, because touchscreen only phones is really the whole thing right now, and I don't know if it'd be comfortable, or if it'd be usable, or if it'd have to be changed, but that's what I imagine will happen. So that's the answer to your question there, Agent Mindstorm. Let's move on to the next one from ProXSteve, who asks, #QnA. By the way, you don't need to do that. I know people do at this point just to confuse me, but still. #QnA, what's your favorite animal IRL? So, my favorite animal in real life is actually, I don't know, there's a lot of close contenders here. I really do like llamas. Like, llamas isn't just a joke. I think they're a great animal in real life. Like, they look hilarious and they have a cool function. The red panda probably going to be up on the list though, because red pandas, you expect like, these are just tiny pandas, but they're tiny pandas that actually run around. If you've ever seen real pandas, they're kind of boring. They just sit there. Whereas red pandas, they're like cats mixed with pandas, and that's really the combination I'm looking for. So yeah, cat pandas, or red panda is probably gonna have to be my favorite one. If I had to pick one to be a pet, even though they're both horribly impractical, I'd probably pick the red panda. So yeah, let's move on to the next question, which is from Awesomeness Productions, who asks, ##. If you could add any weapon to Minecraft, what would it be? So this is one I thought about quite a bit, because when 1.9 was first announced to be the combat update, I was like, oh, they're going to add so many weapons, they're going to make it this, going to make it that. As you all probably know, I don't believe they added any new weapons. They kind of rebalanced the current ones, but they didn't add new ones, and I really think they missed an opportunity, because first of all, you could have made it so there's like a long sword or something with longer reach but less damage, but second of all, I think the big one that I'd really like to see is a short bow or a crossbow, because right now, there is just the Minecraft bow. There is no variants on it. There's not even like, different tiers of it. It's just there's a bow, you're using it or you're not using it. I'd love to see either different tiers of the bow, or better, in my opinion, to have different like lengths of bow. So you could have the long bow, which does more damage over more distance, but takes longer to draw back, and then you could have a short bow, which, is super short distance, does, can be fired faster, and I think that'd be cool. Or, even better yet, I'd love to see a crossbow, which could be used in dual wield, because right now, you can use a bow in your left hand, which just doesn't make too much sense in my opinion, but it'd be cool if you could have a crossbow, which is one-handed, has a better fire path, but then maybe does less damage and something like that. I don't know. I think crossbows in Minecraft would be pretty cool, and that's what I'm gonna. That's my final answer, is what I'm saying here. So yeah, if I can't have the halberd, if I can't have the short bow, can't have any of that, I've got to go with the crossbow. So yeah, the next but that's the answer to your question. The next one comes in from Blitzgamer79, who asks the really important question, the breakfast-related one here, which is #QnA. Do you put milk in your cereal first, or the cereal? And honestly, okay, so there's a lot of things in life where you're told you got to put them in one way first, then the other thing. So I think like tea, it's like, I don't make tea, but it's like water then milk, right? I hope I didn't get that wrong. But yeah, there's all these weird mixtures of things. And with cereal, everyone always says put the cereal first, then the milk. I always try it the other way, and then I always realize that milk after cereal is just superior. Because if you put milk in there first, then you pour your cereal in, it's just gonna float above it, and you have to kind of dunk it yourself. And if you're dunking it, then really you're just doing the same thing but making more effort. So yeah, I'm gonna have to be on the side of cereal first, then milk. But honestly, I don't actually drink that much milk when it comes to breakfast. So I mean, I don't drink cereal. Eat cereal and drink milk with this. Wait, is it eating cereal even if you have that? Whatever. Anyway, so that's let's move on from that to the next question, shall we? I think cereal first, then milk is probably the objectively right one there. The next question though comes in from Assassin Brian. which is an interesting name, which is hashtag QnA. If you were in control of Minecraft, what features would you add? So this is something I think about every now and then, because I try to look at the, logical side of things from the developer side, as to like, they're clearly doing something really cool that we just don't maybe understand. But as I realize more and more, I think they do just have their own vision for the game, which is really kind of different to what most people want. Because I was thinking like, okay, if I'm in control of the development team for like 1 week, I can add like more features that people want than like an entire update they do. Because think about it this way: to add in loads of features people want, here's one easily one. All you have to do is be like, okay, here's a new idea. We have every single type of wood work as pressure plates. We have every single type of wood work as all different things. Because they're slowly doing it, why not just do it all in one update? Like, have the new pressure plates, have the new, I forget what other blocks aren't there, but that'd be a cool thing personally. So yeah, I'd make all the other types of wood work for trapdoors and pressure plates and all that stuff. But I'd also like to see just more colored blocks in general, because I think that's one of the easiest changes you could make to the game that make people happy. If you make like another 16 colors of some block, dyed planks for instance, that'd be pretty cool, right? Dyed dirt, I don't know, dye everything. I think they're the easiest features you can add. And then also the llama, and the llama is something they jokingly mentioned they could easily do, because all you have to do is take the sheep model and extend the neck, and boom, you got yourself a llama. So if I was in control of Minecraft, even for a week, I reckon I could make the best update ever. And maybe that's me being optimistic, but I really do think it's like, these are features people want but they're just not making, and that's what I would do. So that's the answer to your question there, Assassin Brian. So yeah, the next one actually comes in from Dylan Barge, who actually has a llama picture. Is that llama? I could be terribly mistaking that. Who asked, random question, what is your favorite Disney film? So most people have like a favorite Disney film because they watch them as children, and although I probably watched Disney films as a child, I don't really recall any particularly hard. Like I always, all the famous ones I'd recognize from the movies, because from the adverts, because when you watch VHS, they had all those ads for movies, but I'd never watch any of them because they were old anyway. Anyway, but yeah, so what's my favorite Disney movie? It's not an old one. It's probably, I was thinking about this a little bit, it'd probably have to be Wreck-It Ralph, because I really like Wreck-It Ralph. Like, that thing is filled with references where I was like, that's great, and I smiled, and yeah, that's the Wreck-It Ralph, although I don't know if that counts. But it counts now. We're gonna make it count. So yeah, let's move on to the next question, shall we? Which comes in from Skylar Crittenden, who asks, hashtag QnA, how many hours do you think you've put into Minecraft? Oh, also it has free uploads. That's exciting. So yeah, how many hours do I think I put into Minecraft? It's one of those things where I think about it, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's just this number of hours, and then I work out in days, and it's like, oh, that's a lot of time. Because I know on the Xbox One, I'm coming very close to 1,000 hours already, even though the game's only been out for a year and a bit, and I know on the 360 I probably have at least that, if not more, and then across all the other editions, the PC, the other stuff, etc., it probably adds up even more than that. So yeah, how many hours have I put into Minecraft in total? It's gotta be somewhere in the 2,000 to 3,000 range, which in days is like 100 days. It's a lot of time, but I like my Minecraft. There's a lot of things to do, such as, for instance, the background gameplay, which I was going to mention earlier but forgot. Yeah, it's a bunch of random mini games, so if you're curious as to what that is, it's just because I was playing on Mineplex with bolts or something, and I was like, oh, this is pretty cool, and now I want to do more of it. Anyway, yeah, let's move on to the next question, shall we? Which comes in from Sneak Attack 11, who asks, hashtag QnA, how do you make thumbnails, Toycat? So I feel like most YouTubers have a way better thumbnail system than me, because personally, I resisted thumbnails for as long as they've been around. Like, back in 2012, 2011, when I was first starting to grow, it was like, no, I'm going to keep using the default thumbnails, because, thumbnails became bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's just like, it almost feels like you only use thumbnails for misty. So that's how my opinion used to be, and obviously since then, thumbnails become a bigger and bigger bit. And something I do now, so the way I kind of compromise on the old and the new is I use a thumbnail. So I take a random screenshot from the video, and then I just put some text on it describing it. So it's like, ooh, yeah, I know what's going to be in there, and that's really all I do right now. Maybe I should do more, and that's how I make thumbnails. If you want to know exactly how I do it, I use the export from Premiere Pro button, and then it just takes the frame, turns it into a thumbnail, and then I upload that after I put some text on there. So yeah, that's how I make thumbnails. It's not very exciting. I really do feel like I need to upgrade my method, because on YouTube these days, it feels like the thumbnail is more important than the video title, or like even the video content. Because if you look at your YouTube homepage, whether you're on mobile or whether you're on the PC, it's like thumbnail, big screen, tiny bit of title below it, and that's something I need to perhaps work on. So you will be seeing some different thumbnails at some point in the next 0 to 3 years, I guess. So anyway, yeah, that's that right there. Let's move on to the next question, which comes in from Jan by Alice. By Alice? Yes, who asks, will you ever go to Poland? I'm curious because I'm Polish and you've been to lots of different European cities. I really do want to go to Poland, actually. It's on the list of countries I'm going to. But the thing about Poland, it's kind of like Germany in that, unlike a lot of places where there's just one big city and then everything's kind of links into that, there's a lot of countries like that. Poland is like, there's a lot of really big cities and they're kind of scattered around. And I can't really decide which one I want to go to. Like, there's Gdansk, for instance, which I know has a really cool salt mine. There's you know, I think Krakow, I had a Krakow sausage once, and that was nice, and yeah, that's like the entirety of my knowledge. At some point, I will do some research, and I would like to fly to Poland, because if you don't know, from the UK, it is pretty cheap and pretty easy to fly out to Poland, because there's so many flights going each way. So yeah, I probably will be going to Poland at some point, but I can't tell you exactly when. So that's the answer to your question. Let's move into the final one, shall we, which comes in from Master Nick Free, who asks, will you ever do Skywars tips? I see you play it in the background sometimes, and you're so good at it. So thank you very much for saying I'm good at Skywars. I do enjoy playing it quite some bit. But will I ever do Skywars tips? I would like to, but I've always got this big fear that, like, I'm not actually that good at Skywars. I'm just really, really aggressive and crazy when it comes to playing Skywars. Like, that's kind of all I do, and maybe that means some tips would be cool. Like, every now and then I get a moment where I'm like, that's cool. That's a learning moment. Like, you know, if any of you saw the Twitter video where I've like thrown the ender pearl off the island, like, there's a lot of cool tips I'd like to believe I could learn or could teach. But will I do a Skywars tips video? We'll have to see. If enough of you do want it, oh wait, let me know with the comments, and maybe we'll make that happen. So anyway, yeah, that's the end of today's video. We do have 10 questions, like we always do. I don't know why it's 10. I just kind of decide, yeah, it sounds good enough to me. And yeah, that's all 10 questions for today. So if you did like the video, please do like it and let me know. Share if you liked it, and subscribe if you're new around here. I make videos just like this one every single day on my channel, and if you subscribe, you'll see them daily on your homepage. I do actually quite enjoy these QnA Saturdays. It's fun to just go through some questions, like even just reading through the 1,000 that come with each video. And I guess I'll see you all in the next week's one, and we'll see if this keeps up. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and bye.